Cervical cancer, also known as the silent killer, remains among the top 4 cancers, second only to breast cancer in occurrence among women in Namibia. Research points to nearly all cases of cervical cancer being attributed to HPV infection. And while most HPV infections clear up on their own, there is a risk for all women that HPV infection could lead to invasive cervical cancer. Almost 3,000 cases of cervical cancer were recorded between 2009 and 2019. Despite progressive interventions, the executive director Ben Ngombe says anti-vax sentiments continue to fuel existing myths around the HPV vaccination. This has contributed to slow uptake of the vaccine, hence the need for stakeholder collaboration in educating communities.
At least those that are willing to listen can look at the data and say it has been done elsewhere. Can it be that then the objective or the so-called this sinister argument about population control, about vaccinating cancer and cancer children, does it hold water? So that is, for me, one of the greatest challenges that we must deal with. Introducing the vaccine is one thing, but the uptake in the climate that we are now in could prove challenging.
First Lady Monica Genkos equally raised concern about misinformation and infertility myths, noting that her office will continue countering such distortions and in helping Namibia meet cervical cancer eliminated by 2030.
As we played a role, we can also play a role in countering misinformation on HPV. We will not successfully roll out vaccinations if we do not successfully disseminate the right information to the right people in the right languages at the right time. Workshops like this are a good reminder that in order for us to honor our sisters on the continent and in our country, we need to have a laser focus on the elimination of cervical cancer. So thank you very much, Rosh, for putting us together. And this is why the development of a national CXCA elimination strategy for the period of 2023 to 2030 to align strategic interventions with a global cervical cancer elimination strategy is both timely and necessary. So how do we eliminate cervical cancer? We work together.
The HPV workshop focused on creating collaboration with key stakeholders across the healthcare ecosystem and discussed on HPV, cervical cancer and reaching the 90-70-90 targets. Roche's Jonathan Keetle says the company will assist Namibia in its quest for elimination of cervical cancer.
Figure out what are the key barriers we're trying to overcome. Where are the key hurdles? What is the investment that's needed? What is the work that is needed? Let's co-create that. We will leverage our experience in integrated testing on existing platforms to help the lab people here to make testing happen in a very practical sense. We are willing to bring our consulting expertise to optimize the system, the laboratory, but also things like how do you move the sample, how do you return the result.